welcome back to my channel. My name is Paige and this is my open book. We finally have a new background. The move is officially done. We're still getting settled in, but you know, the bookshelves were the first thing I had to set up. Today we're finally doing the beginning of the year book tag. So grab a drink and grab a stack and let's talk about reading plans for 2025. I kind of combined some questions from the book tag that Larry from Larry Reads put out that's like beginning of the year, and then I also saw people doing the New Year booktuber tag, so I kind of like combined some of those questions to make my own version. So this is a bit of a hybrid and we're just gonna get right into it. First question, how many books are you planning to read in 2025? Last year I read over 200 books. I love the act of reading, right? As we all do, that's why we're here. But I did kind of fall into the trap where I felt like I always had to be reading something new, or like, I don't know, just like I always had to be reading something, right? So I felt like I wasn't like present with what I was reading, and I was just like always thinking like on to the next one. And this year I want to be more like intentional and thoughtful with my books, more present while I read them and kind of like sit with them, especially if it's a book that I really liked. I think doing my reading journal is also going to help with that, because I kind of want to do like a spread for every like 6-star book that I read this year, for example. So yeah, I kind of want to play around with that. Maybe like making Pinterest boards for books once I finish them. That way it'll help me like take some time in between reads to like really remember and enjoy the good ones, if that makes sense. So my reading goal, I'm only going to make it for 120 this year, because really like I should only... I say this knowing how many books I read in January. I already read too many, but it's fine. We have the whole year to get used to it, okay? But I'm thinking like if I can read like 10 books a month, that's plenty. So my reading goal is just gonna be 120. Will I probably read more than that? Yes, but it's okay. The intention is there. Question number 2, a book that you are likely to reread this year. So I really have been craving rereading the Twisted series by Ana Huang. I think especially because it got announced that's going to be turned into like a Netflix show, I guess. But it is one of my favorite series of all time. And I did finally buy the physical copies. I don't know if you can see them up here. I did not buy Twisted Hate. I don't know if I'm gonna... That one I didn't really like that much, so I might skip that one. But I bought these when Target was having their buy 2 get 1 free sales. That's why I only bought 3 out of the 4. So TBD if I want to read Twisted Hate. I might just read it on Kindle Unlimited so I don't have to buy the physical copy. But I don't know, I really want to reread that series this year. I also want to reread the J.T. Geisinger series since those are coming out in special edition. Let me reach them. I already got the first 2. So we have Ruthless Creatures and Carnal Urges. This is one of my favorite Mafia series ever. So I kind of want to reread these since they're coming out in these special editions. I'm probably going to reread more. That's part of like my challenge for this year too, is like to reread more books, because then I can fulfill the act of always feeling like I have to read something, but I'm not always like reading something new. You know what I mean? I can kind of like reread old favorites so that, you know, I feel like I fall into the overconsumption trap a little bit too much sometimes, and I'm trying to like reel it in. Okay, question number 3, a priority read for your 2025 TBR. I really gotta pick up a book by Abby Jimenez. It's been too long. We've got, I know I've got them over here. I do have Part of Your World. It's on my TBR cart behind you, but I also have Just for the Summer and Yours Truly. I haven't read anything by Abby Jimenez yet, and she is definitely a well-loved author. That's definitely a priority. That's why I have Part of Your World on my TBR cart. So that should happen. I did say that I was going to read them in 2024 and I didn't. So this could be all talk. I don't know. Okay, an author you won't be reading more books from this year. I understand this question, but I also hate it at the same time. I feel like it's not realistic to say like I'm never going to read something by a certain author, right? Like for example, Megan Quinn. Like some of her newer releases haven't been my favorite, but I'm still going to read new books that she puts out. You know what I mean? So this question was really hard for me, but I think these are kind of like unpopular opinions. And it actually hurts me to say this out loud, but I don't know if I'm gonna read anything by Emily Henry this year. I don't know. I know everyone loved Funny Story. I did enjoy Happy Place and Beach Read, but I do feel like they're overhyped, in my personal opinion. I don't know. I tried to read Book Lovers and I did not like it at all. I've also tried to read People We Meet on Vacation like twice and I just can't get into it. So I don't know. I might read Funny Story. I feel like if I'm going to read an Emily Henry book this year, it's probably going to be Funny Story. But otherwise, like, I just don't feel that interested in Emily Henry anymore. I don't know why. I feel like in my current mood, I feel as though she's overhyped. Funny story could change my mind. So don't hold me to that, okay? Another author that I'm not sure if I'm gonna read any more books from this year is Jane Diamond, which really hurts me because I love her Rockstar saga, I guess we can call it, but because there's like 3 series that are tied to this one Rockstar band that she wrote about in the Dirty series. I love all of those, but anytime she writes something that's not in that Rockstar world, I don't like it. I've DNF'd every other book by her that I've read that has not been part of the Dirty universe, basically. So if she puts out something in the Dirty verse, I will read it. So that's like a little caveat. But if she writes something that's not in the Rockstar world, then I'm probably not gonna read it. Sorry to say. Okay, something new you want to read, like new genres or new tropes. I don't know if new is the right word because these are all technically things I've read before, but I used to be super into nonfiction, dystopian, like historical, all 3 of those genres I used to be really into. But now that I'm a romance girly, I feel like I never pick up those genres anymore. So it'd be cool to, like, you know, get back into those because I do know that I like them. I also feel like I need to read more thrillers and mysteries because I feel like lately I've only been reading a thriller if it's in my book club and that's it. Which I need to read more. I need to read more. So basically everything but romance except for like sci-fi and horror. A popular book that you want to read. Another one that keeps going on my TBR and I just never read it. Binding 13, like by Chloe Walsh. I really want to read The Boys of Tommen. I really do. Like, whenever I hear people talk about it, I just know it's going to be for me. I know I'm going to like it. But I just keep putting it off because I feel like it's also going to hurt me and like wreck me. So, I don't know. But 2025 really should be the year. It should. Okay, most anticipated 2025 book release. Sunrise on the Reaping by Suzanne Collins. I have been a Hunger Games stan from the beginning. I also, hot take, hear me out. She also wrote a series that was like middle grade when I was in middle school, Gregor the Overlander series. Did anyone else read that when they were younger? I was obsessed. I was obsessed in middle school with this series. So I've been a Suzanne Collins stan from the beginning, okay? So anytime a new book is coming out from her, I'm pumped, I'm hyped. And this is Haymitch's book, Sunrise on the Reaping. I can't wait. I can't wait. Okay, what is a bookish goal that you have for 2025? Kind of like what I already talked about at the beginning of this video. I want to journal more, to be present with the books that I'm enjoying. I want to like reread more or go through like a full series or go through an author's backlist before I just like hop onto the next new thing. That's how I used to read, actually, when I first started getting back into reading romance. Or when I first started getting back into reading by reading romance books, I would pick like one author and I would just read like their entire backlist. Like I would binge everything by that author to just like live in that world and that writing style for as long as I could, and then I would go to the next. So I don't want to do that to that extent like I used to, but I do kind of want to like dabble back into that because I feel like that was fun for me. I liked being able to stay like the world for a while before I, you know, move on to something new. So that's kind of my intention for the year. Number 9, a book that's been on your TBR that you probably won't ever read. I feel like this kind of goes back to the other one that I said with the authors that I'm going to stop reading books by. Never say never, right? But it's a probably won't read. I feel like my Jane Austen books that are on my shelves, I feel like I'm not going to read them. I don't know. Like, whenever I try to read a classic nowadays, I just can't get into it. I can't get into it. I'm just a silly, goofy romance girly now. I don't know. I don't know. Again, never say never, but in my current state, the thought of picking up a classic just like really turns me off. So I feel like those are not gonna be on my radar anytime soon. Also, I think I'm gonna have to say Nicholas Sparks books, which is unfortunate because I do love his writing and I have so many books by him that I do want to read them. But again, anytime I try to pick one up, I just know it's gonna be really sad. And I just don't know if I'm in the right mental state for that. You know what I mean? I just don't know if I'm the right demographic for his books because I feel things too much. I feel things too much. So, I don't know. TBD. Okay, a series you want to read this year. I really want to be able to finish the Katie Robert Dark Olympus series now. I think I have a random one here. This is not book 1, but I think I need to read the book before this, Midnight Ruin, and then continue on to finish. because I stopped reading this when I was reading the Scarlet St. Clair series, because they're both Greek mythology inspired, and it was getting too confusing to be like in both worlds simultaneously. Because yes, they're based on the same Greek gods and goddesses, but every author does like their own interpretation of the characters and of like the Olympus world and politics. So I feel like I needed to finish the Scarlet St. Clair, Hades and Persephone series before I could go back into Katie Roberts series. So now that I'm done with Scarlet St. Clair, finally, years in the making, I can finally finish the Katie Roberts series. So that's a goal for sure. I also really want to read Throne of Glass this year. I have like the full box set down there. I'm not going to grab it. I finally finished ACOTAR and I loved it, and I do want to read Crescent City and Throne of Glass as well. So I'm going to start with Throne of Glass. That's definitely on my TBR for this year. And I really want to get back into reading the Black Dagger Brotherhood books. This has over 20 books in the series, so that's why I feel like I've been slow with getting to it. But I feel like I only read one in 2024. I read so many in 2023 back to back. I think I read like 4 of them back to back in 2023, and I think I only read 1 in 2024. So I want to pick up the pace, you know, read a few more this year. It's definitely on my radar. Okay, number 11, your auto-buy authors going into 2025. I have a lot. I'm just gonna go through them rapid fire. Tessa Bailey, A.L. Jackson, Taylor Jenkins Reid. Those are like my top 3 auto-buy authors of all time. Like, it doesn't matter what year it is. But lately, here's some other authors that have kind of like made their way onto the auto-buy list. Julie Soto, Sierra Simone. The great thing is all these authors have books coming out this year, which is just amazing. Sierra Simone, Emily Wibberley and Austin Siegmund Broca, that writing duo. I love them. They have a book coming out this year that I know, I actually already have it pre-ordered. Lori Gilmore, she's the one who wrote those books that are kind of inspired by Stars Hollow and Gilmore Girls a little bit. I think she has 2 books coming out this year to close out that series, so that's exciting. Ashley Herring Blake, I don't know if she has any books coming out this year, but anything that she puts out I'm gonna buy, let's be real. And Elsie Silver, I already have Wildside pre-ordered, and I feel like she's probably gonna come out with another one this year. Maybe not, I don't know. But yeah, anything she writes, I'm gonna buy. Yeah, all these authors, they're definitely like in the auto-buy rotation. Like if I go to Barnes & Noble and I see their books sitting on the shelves that I don't own, like I'm gonna go home with one. That's just non-negotiable. Okay, number 12, a book to show adaptation you're excited about this year. Ooh, I've got 3. Okay. The first one, Black Dagger Brotherhood. Season 1 is coming out in summer of 2025. I can't wait. I was totally eating up all of the teasers they were posting on social media while they were filming, and I'm just really excited for it. I'm really excited for it. And then Verity and Housemaid are being turned into movies. I'm pretty sure those are coming out this year because they've already like casted them and everything. It's always hard to know when these things are gonna come out. There are definitely a lot of ones that have been announced that I'm excited about, but I don't know if they're coming out this year. So these are the 3 that I'm pretty sure are coming out this year. So Verity by Colleen Hoover, Housemaid by Frida McFadden, and Black Dagger Brotherhood by J.R. Ward. Those are the ones I am really pumped about. And the casting looks really good. So I have high hopes. Number 13, a sequel that you are anticipating. I have 2. Caught Up by Nevessa Allen. Oh, Lights Out was everything. I need to buy the physical copy. Even though I'm probably gonna, I feel like that's an audiobook I'm gonna definitely re-listen to this year. I probably should have said that for the earlier question about books I want to reread. It was just such a good time, such a good time. And the second book is about like a motorcycle guy, and I think he's also more like tied to the mafia somehow. So like, I think this was gonna be more like morally gray, like typical dark romance. I don't know if it's gonna have the same like rom-com twist, I don't know. Even if it does, I'll still be just as excited about it. And then we have Rewind It Back by Liz Tomford. We finally get Rio's love story. I can't wait. She finally posted the cover. This red, it just like really pops. I'm pumped. I'm pumped. Number 14, bookish things you're leaving behind in 2024. I'm gonna sound like a broken record. Hopping to new things and new authors and new releases and new series before I've like really enjoyed and gotten everything out of the current series or current author I'm reading. Again, that's something I want to leave behind. I don't want to keep thinking like I always have to be on to the next new thing. So that's what I'm leaving behind in 2024. Question 15, list 3 5-star predictions. Throne of Glass, I already talked about. I don't know if I'm gonna say like the whole series is a 5-star, but I feel like there's gonna be at least one book in that series that's gonna be a 5-star. I just already know, based on what I've read by Sarah J Maas, as well as other reviews I've seen of people reading these books. There's definitely gonna be one in here that's a 5-star, if the whole series isn't a 5-star. So I feel like that's a guarantee. Scythe and Sparrow by Brynne Weaver. Been loving her Ruinous Love trilogy, and this one, it's kind of risky saying this is a 5-star prediction, because while I did give the other books 5 stars, I'm pretty sure, this one involves like a circus performer. I think the filming characters like from the circus or something. So I'm hoping it doesn't have too much clown stuff in it, because I personally have a fear of clowns. That might deter me from giving it a 5-star. I don't know. We'll see. But if anyone's gonna make me like a clown in a book, it's gonna be Brynne Weaver. So here's hoping. Then Wild and Wrangled by Lila Sage. I already have this pre-ordered. I love Lila Sage's writing. The first book was definitely a 5-star. The other two were like 4 stars, like pretty solid. But the characters in this one, I am already obsessed with them. Just like reading their like little tidbits of their backstory in the other books. It's a second chance romance. And I think this female character, I know. She's a single mom. And I think she's engaged. I think that's the part I can't remember. She's like married or engaged or just like dating another guy. I think they're engaged. I'm pretty sure the book is gonna start off with like him helping her like run away from the wedding or something like that. Come on. I can't wait. It's gonna be a 5-star. I already know. All right, and question 16, last question. What trope do you think will be the most popular in 2025? I think romantasy and like enemies to lovers is gonna be really big in 2025. I feel like everyone is trying romantasy now that Rebecca Yarros was so successful with it. And obviously I'm not mad at it. Because I do want to read more fantasy. So I think that'd be fun if more authors did that. Enemies to lovers, I think kind of goes hand in hand with the romantasy. So I'm hoping authors won't fall into that trap and they'll try to do like different things. But it's just my prediction. I also think female rage is gonna be really popular in 2025. If you know, you know. Yeah. I have a feeling like the whole like good for her, female rage, we support women's wrongs. I feel like that's gonna be a pretty popular theme for 2025. So let me know. Leave a comment down below. What books do you think are gonna be popular this year? If you agree or disagree with me, let me know. Give this video a like and be sure to hit that subscribe button so you can see all the books that I actually read, and you can hold me accountable to see if I stick to the questions from this tag. I'll see you guys next time. Bye.